out of desperation, I looked for a supplement. It was like about a year ago. I was under a very intensely stressful situation that I happened to get myself into, unfortunately. In today's video, I want to talk to you about something that really helped me out when I was going through a very stressful situation. Now, we've all been there, like we've all done something or gotten ourselves into a messy situation somehow, and it can be very stress-inducing. Now, what I ended up experiencing was anxiety that I've never really experienced before. Like, I've had anxiety to some extent here and there, you know, it depends on the situation, but I have never had anything like what I experienced a year ago. It was very unpleasant. And so in my opinion, just my point of view, I feel like if you are going through stuff, it is of course really important to try to learn how to cope with what you're going through and to really like deal with it. But I also have compassion for people and myself. And if you are in a situation that is so overwhelming, that feels so out of control, if there's something that you can take to help you through that period of time, I think that's fine too. Like, I'm not judging anybody. In my situation, this is what I was experiencing a year ago, like very specifically. I was having problems where when I would just think about the situation, I would have an issue with my heart racing very severely. And then I would have random like heart palpitations. My heart rate was through the roof, out of control, sporadically out of control, to the point where I ended up having to do an at-home heart rate monitoring test and everything. And it was abnormal, by the way. And I know that it was all stress-induced. It became a bit of an issue. Like, it was just a really hard time period for me to go through. Somehow I ended up discovering a supplement. Now, consult with your doctor. I'm supposed to say that, you know. Honestly, I believe that doctors don't have a lot of knowledge on supplements, but if you have a decent doctor, then you should consult with a doctor, okay? So with this particular supplement, you have to really be careful. If you were to ever think about trying this, please seriously do your research and also keep a couple things in mind. This supplement right here is called Mood Support by the brand Now. This has a combination of ingredients in it, with the main one being St. John's wort. Now, I'm not dealing with depression, but St. John's wort is something that is often used to actually treat depression in other countries. That means you're dealing with something that is quite powerful if it's used as a pharmaceutical intervention in another country. In addition to that, there's holy basil extract, valerian, 5-HTP, GABA, taurine, L-theanine, and a few other minerals and stuff. With this particular supplement, I decided to give it a try. And like I said, what I was dealing with was anytime I had a thought about the situation, my heart would race uncontrollably, and I was very anxious at those times, and it was very unpleasant. And I forgot to mention, if you are on an antidepressant, you probably shouldn't take this, and you really need to take that seriously. So like I said, consult with a doctor. If you're already on an antidepressant, you probably don't need this anyway. I'm not really sure, but it is definitely not recommended if you're already on one. With this, I started taking one, and I don't remember feeling anything different by taking one. Now, I would take the one in the morning, and then I decided at some point to just take another one. I'm not sure why. So then the full dose, it does say to take two. So I took one in the morning and then one in the evening. And almost immediately, I noticed that when I would have the thought, and then normally I would have the wave of anxiety with the heart pounding, I would have the thought. I might have like a little feeling of that, like the same feeling as before with the anxiety, and the heart wasn't racing. It happened very quickly anyway. It was pretty fascinating. I was completely floored, completely amazed at that. So in the beginning, when I first started taking it, I was taking 2 per day. I was still feeling some of the sensations of that extreme anxiety like coming over me, but it was like tampered down. And like I said, the heart racing was completely gone. And then at some point, I'm not sure when, maybe a couple of weeks after I was taking 2 a day, I just didn't have that whole sensation of anxiety anymore. And it really helped me through that period. One of the other things to keep in mind is that when somebody's taking a normal antidepressant, you are supposed to taper yourself off so that you don't have any terrible side effects or like any reoccurrence of your symptoms, just to avoid problems. So I did do that when I got off of this, and I was super concerned and I was very careful, and I kind of went down from the 2 capsules to 1.5 and then to 1 and then like to nothing. I actually didn't notice a difference when I got off of it. But at the same time, for me personally, I've noticed that I can kind of like go on and off this and I'm okay. I do feel pretty much like more laid back and chilled out and like not anxious when I do take this regularly, if I'm being honest. So I've found it to be really helpful. I don't like to be dependent on anything for too long, so I do like that I can kind of just like get off of it. But overall, this is something that I wanted to share on my channel for quite a while. So if you've had any experiences with this supplement or with St. John's wort or with anything that has personally helped you get through a period of stress, anxiety, or anything like that, feel free to share it down below. Thank you so much for watching and take care.